Hey, this is Max. I'm back with another Csr2 video. Some people have been asking about the difference between a car with Fusion tuned versus a car without Fusion tuned. Specifically about the Hurricane, but I do not currently have two Hurricanes, one with stage 5 no Fusion and one with stage 5 all Fusions. What I do have is a GT3R I just pulled on my second account yesterday, which currently has no Fusion. I built it up to stage 5, and on my other account I have a full GT3R with full Fusion and can be placed into stage 5. So I'm going to do a comparison for you with regard to the two cars. This way you can see for yourself what Fusions will do for you in this game. So here we have the GT3R without any Fusions installed, all at stage 5, and I'm going to just kind of tune it approximately to the best Evo I can, without wasting a ton of your time watching me tuning. This way we can at least see the comparison without getting into the nitty-gritties of fine tuning. But most of the fine tuning of any car comes between the trans and the tire. So at different grip levels, you have to either increase the final drive or decrease the final drive. Sometimes you think you have the highest Evo already, and then you realize by tweaking the final drive along with the tire load more, you can reach an even higher point. That being said, I'm not going to worry about that too much with this tune, because between with Fusion and without Fusion, there's such a drastic difference that no amount of tuning is going to kind of catch up to the differences. So what you do is you play with the tire, with the trans, and with the nitrous. Now, I know the highest Evo should be around 193. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to see if I can get it close to it and leave it there, or I need to just let it be. So right now it looks like I'm getting to about 190 without playing with the final drive, and tweaking the final drive may or may not get me to 193 again. It really depends on what I did earlier that's making the difference. Okay, well anyway, so we're right now at 190 instead of 193 where it could be, but that's going to make only a maybe 200s difference in the overall time. So it's still a little bit quicker than my last dyno with this car, so it's at 12.46. Now I'm going to run it just to show you that it runs close. If you drive well, you can actually run dyno, but again, without Fusion, it's going to kind of run about as best it's going to do. It's in the 12s. And this is full stage 5, no Fusions at all. Which actually, for a T5 car, that's not bad. You can get into a live lobby with 12-second car and be competitive. However, with 190 Evo, you'll probably make about 250 to 300 at best respect points per race in live. So it's kind of pointless to be running this car in live. So there you go, 12.583. I didn't drive it real well, but let's assume that's your average driver's result. That's what you're looking at for PC Cup with stage 5 without any Fusions installed. Now, I did manage to pull a stage 6 sometime in the past, and lucky me, I got a transmission, which actually isn't that bad. This should give me a nice drop in the times. I'm going to install it without installing any Fusions again, and back we go, tuning again. So with the trans change, the car will automatically get faster, a 12.192 now from a 12.46, so about a 0.2 drop. You can still tweak it, but you notice that the Evo naturally dropped by quite a few points. It went from 190 now to about the 140s. Would I be able to get back to the 190s? That's a good question. I could tune it quite a bit, but it's going to take a bit of time to figure out exactly. But looking like it's not going to change a whole lot from the 140s without some fine tuning, which again takes some time. You can play with it on your own, but let's just put it to somewhere where we know we're beating the standard time. So 146, and that's another hundreds. So 12.186 with a stage 6 transmission added. So that transmission's pretty useful. Even without Fusion, it dropped it by about 0.2. Almost, yeah, about 0.2, not quite 0.3. So if you do it with Fusions, okay, and now we're looking at my other car with full Fusions, all at stage 5. When you go to tune, you can see that with the fusions added, the car will be faster. Look at the Evo. That tells the story right there. You have now gained 1,000 plus Evo from the fusions. Plus, you can further fine tune, just like the other car, to get the highest point you can in the Evo. Again, different tire setting requires different trans setting. It could come out with all different kinds of results. Your goal is always to try to get the fastest time. So if you see a green time after tuning, that's a good thing. You see a red one, that's probably not a good thing. So if you lower the tire grip, you need to increase the transmission to find the magical point. See, I just saw a 1226 there. We can find that spot. We can then fine tune again from there to see if it can go higher. So it looks like it's right there, but it's an interesting cutoff point. Sometimes that's what happens. You can't seem to find the same spot again, even though you just saw it. Tuning on the tablet's always a little tougher, simply because my swipes tend to make the final drive points jump rather than move one point at a time. Oh, here we go. Still slower. Okay, so whatever I had before actually was better than this. Maybe it's a little bit less grip would help. Right there, 1230. Okay, I'm not going to waste more of your time. Let's finally, once you finish picking at the tire and the trans, you can play with the nitrous. That's usually the last thing I tune, mainly because nitrous tend to be dependent upon the actual final drive and grip for it to be the most effective. So you just kind of tune tire, trans, and then you play with the nitrous to try to get the highest Evo point. Now, that is now a 10.3. Mind you, the other car with no fusion is 12.4. So 2 seconds difference, over 2 seconds difference. Now I'm going to add the transmission with full fusion and go back and tune again. Again, this is not going to be the most fine-tuned setup. I know some people commented on my last video that, hey, you could do better. I said, yeah, I could, but when you're watching the video, you probably don't want to spend 5 minutes watching me tweaking transmission and tires for that last few points of Evo. So yes, take this as not necessarily the absolute best tunes, but the point is I'm trying to show is that fusions by itself, without any other differences, once filled up, can drop your car's performance by 2 full seconds. This is why you need fusions. And this is true of the Hurricane, this is true of any car in the game. Certainly with some cars which has less fusion slots, like the T2s, T3s, your differences may not be as drastic, but certainly on the average, I would say a 2-second drop in performance is definitely what you'll see. Now, in combination with stage 6 and additional fusions from the stage 6 parts, that's where you can see a 4-second or more drop in performance. So that's where some cars will run maybe a 12 with no fusions, but then it ends up at 8.8 with all stage 6 and full fusions. So that's the main difference of having and not having fusions. Why do I always say you need fusions? Well, because stage 5 full fusions, a 2-second difference. If you had stage 6s on top, then you pretty much won't have much of a problem hitting the PC car cup requirements once you get the fusions in. Now, each fusion you drop changes the performance too, so you need to keep that in mind. In any case, I hope this video was helpful to you. Please leave comments and subscribe if you like this kind of videos. Thank you for watching.